Welcome back to Ready, Set, College. We are moving on to our final segment of the show, and we're bringing in our second and final guest today. He is someone you may be familiar with if you ever heard the Don and Gino radio show locally in Santa Clarita on KHTS AM 1220. I have been a guest on his show many times, and now reciprocity turns. The game is afoot. He is Don Goettling. He is a mortgage planner and a branch manager at Skyline Home Loans. Don, welcome to the show.
It's fun to be on this side of the table here, Rob, and you're doing a great job, man.
I certainly appreciate it. And our one topic we're going to get in here in our final segment is all about how to use your home, how to use that equity position that it might be an untapped resource in terms of how to finance a college education when the rest of the bill hasn't been foot by that college or without taking out a loan from a private, equity firm. So, Don, give us a couple of examples. We're going to put some slides up on the screen. Walk us through some of the examples you have available through your organization.
All right. Well, thanks, Rob. And I have to say, I looked through the stuff that Chris had. Holy cow, I learned a lot just looking through that. I didn't know there were so many parameters, so many options. And, of course, one of the options to potentially, finance college, a lot of times you don't think about your home, the equity in your home, and there's various options. What's really nice is as you look on the screen, you'll see that we can put together a report that kind of breaks it out, but you have an opportunity to either refinance and pull cash out based on your equity position, or you can do an equity line to pull the cash out. Now, of course, what's good is if you align yourself with a college planner such as yourself, Rob, a financial planner such as Chris Ingram, and a mortgage planner, all those ducks can be put in a row to make sure that the plan of attack makes sense. And for example, here I used an example of pulling out just $100,000. Now, the two ways you can pull it out is you can do a cash out refinance. And sometimes, believe it or not, by pulling the cash out, it doesn't even change your payment by that much, especially if you have the opportunity to even lower your interest rates. Interest rates are some of the lowest levels we've seen in a couple years now, maybe some of the lowest levels we'll see in our lifetime. And here you can see that if you were to pull out $100,000 based on you having the loan for the last, few years, believe it or not, your payment may only go up about $138 per month. Which
is way, way better off than trying to finance that same amount of money through a private equity line or a plus loan where that number is 7.5% to 8%.
Well, and also the good thing, Rob, I mean, that's a good point, is that what's nice is some of this money that you're paying extra goes towards principal, and actually it has a way for you to start paying it off immediately. A lot of times, I've seen it when I do home loans, I see these loans just sit there forever and ever and ever, and they never seem to, it's really hard for an individual to figure out how to pay off. So here, it's guaranteed to basically be paid off at a certain point. Now, if you go in an equity line, the good thing about the equity line is that it's like a giant credit card against your house. You can pull out whatever monies you need. Maybe it's per semester, it's for each year, and you only pay interest on the money you use. The only downside is it's an adjustable rate mortgage and could and most likely will go up. For example, the numbers here I've used are based on 5.25%. It depends on your particular scenario, but if it goes up to 8.25%, not a huge jump, believe it or not, for equity lines, that's $250 more per month that you might not have expected. So maybe pulling the entire amount and working with someone like Chris Ingram, who can actually invest the difference, and then you can still utilize that money as you need it, right?
It makes sense to me, and what I think we've learned from not only Don, but from Chris, is that every single family's situation and scenario is different. You can't just go through a checklist and say, oh, I fit category A or I fit category B. You really have to sit down with a financial professional or a mortgage professional like Don, like Chris, and get your particular scenario run through so you know exactly what options are available, exactly what it's going to cost you, what risks, if any, are out there, and you can make an informed decision. We've talked about that almost every single time on this show here at Ready, Set, College, that informed decisions lead to winning solutions. If you're not taking the time to sit down with these guys or people you know and trust in the industry, you're making a mistake. So take the time while you still have it. Reach out, talk to these folks. Don's information is on the screen right now. I've known him for a long time. As a matter of fact, we're related. So luckily for both of us. Don, as always, I cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your very busy schedule to be a part of the show, for sharing some information with families. Any last bits
pleasure.
you want to leave our guests with?
The main thing I could say is being in my industry as long as I have, watching how well you work and what value you add to the Don and Gino show, is that if you're not working with a professional, you're truly missing out on an opportunity to do it right. You need to talk to a professional, especially after looking at all the stuff that you've presented over the time for us, what Chris has presented. Please look out to a professional because they will change your life for the better.
All of us are members of an organization called the America's Professional Resource Group, APRGI, aprgi.com. Take a good look at the website when time permits and get to see how many amazing professionals work with us in our organization. We're all here to help you. Everyone here is a top dog in their field. Reach out and ask some questions if you haven't. That's all the time we have for today. I hope this was helpful. Parents, I sure hope you were watching this show. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor. Come back next week when we have all new information on Ready, Set, College.